and was known for his hard-driving command under General Erwin Rommel. Nobody had to lecture us that we had to stop this son of a bitch from killing our men. "Come on!" I screamed at a jeep trying to fudge its way ahead of one of our Sherman tanks. "Stop right there!" I rammed my fist at the jeep. "Stay in line." The driver halted. The sergeant joked to me that they might promote me to head traffic cop, but I wasn't listening. Keeping the company rolling demanded my full attention. I wasn't trained for any of this troop movement stuff. I had to watch the drivers carefully or I'd get run over. The brisk wind blew snow in my face, and the temperature had to be way, way below 32 degrees. I had experienced cold weather back home in Oklahoma, but nothing like this. I thought my nose might fall off. Heavy engines propelled warm steam that helped protect my face, but the putrid smell nearly turned my stomach. "Okay," I shouted. "Keep it moving. No slowing down." Truckloads of soldiers kept rumbling by. I looked up the road and saw a jeep barreling toward me with flags attached to the fenders. Only one such vehicle was ever dressed out with those kinds of ensigns. This had to be the big boys. I threw up my arms to stop all traffic. As the jeep got closer, I recognized General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the supreme Allied commander of the multinational forces in Europe, coming straight at me. I looked again. With him were General Omar Bradley, and sure enough, there was General George Patton. Patton was taller than I expected, 6'2", and both sat and stood with straight posture. As they approached the traffic, the general stood up as if to get a better view of the traffic jam. He had the bearing of an athlete, and wearing that steel helmet over his white hair added to the sense of authority that he bore. Patton's face carried a stern, no-nonsense look. I could see his eyes surveying the entire scene with an intensity that wouldn't stand for any monkey business. To say the general was impressive is to say the least. With all the propriety they taught me in boot camp, I snapped to attention with the classiest salute I had ever given in my entire life. My backbone stiffened like a cedar board. The jeep swerved by, with all three generals returning the salute. General Patton looked me straight in the eye, smiling like he appreciated the way I was directing traffic. I stood there in rigid attention until they were long gone down the road. Finally, I relaxed. I couldn't believe my eyes. I had just ushered along the top brass, and General George Pattons had grinned at me. I could see that he approved of what I was doing. His slight smile struck me with an affirmation I'd remember all my life. By this time, the traffic jam had cleared, and my job directing traffic was virtually over. I started back for the other side of the road when I heard a whistling noise far above my head. My reflexes sent me diving into the bar ditch. An explosion hurled dirt and debris in every direction. Another artillery blast suddenly took out 3 trees not 100 feet away. The Nazis must have picked up on General Eisenhower's trail and started shelling the crossroads with everything they had. I couldn't stay in the ditch or I'd be dead for certain. I looked up and saw our infantry running in every direction. 20 feet away was a panzer tank that had been knocked out earlier and was sticking halfway out of the ditch on the side of the road. If I could get under that hunk of steel, I might survive. I ran and took a dive. Another artillery shell exploded in the middle of the field, far enough away that I was still safe. I scooted under the panzer. To my surprise, I found another soldier with the same idea lying a few feet away from me. "You all right?" I asked. "I think so," he muttered. "Hell, who can tell?" I stared. Are you Greg Kane?" "What?" The soldier rolled over. His jaw dropped. "Frank? Frank Sisson?" Another explosion shook the ground. We grabbed each other. I had gone to high school with Greg in Waleetka, Oklahoma. Now we had been reunited nearly 5,000 miles from home. We hugged each other, and tears came to our